If she had only been ugly, we would still be together. I just woke up. Sorry if I look disheveled.
That's
I
nice.
set my alarm and I slept through it. And I thought, imagine if I missed this after you were late.
No, I was like, we'll call it even.
You were feeling good? I'm never late. Well, I only live 3 minutes away. I mean, maybe 6.
Okay.
La Brea and Hillside.
See, I don't want to live this side of the hill.
Which hill?
I'm a valley girl.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
There's parking.
I have parking. I have 2 spaces.
Snazzy.
For
There's
one car.
several targets. I mean, I can.
I don't do that.
I don't do that.
I don't do anything. I don't do. I said to this kid, one of my friends, his son was doing the triathlon. He made the Olympics. And I go, you want to go some grocery shopping? He goes, yeah, I'll go with you. And I handed him the Yummy catalog just to call it in.
No.
Thought that was so cool. Where's the camera? Amanda Seals is here live from Dom Irrera and the mumbling fucking stuttering prick. Dom Irrera live from the Lab Factory. Amanda Seals, who had another name.
You wickied me.
I got the whole thing. If you ever want to check her out, she's done a lot of stuff.
I've been
music,
busy.
Everything, dancing.
I've had a whole life. I was Amanda Diva, yeah.
Now let me ask you this: the first time I met you, were you laying down on the couch?
Mm-hmm.
And I asked you if you needed anything.
Mm-hmm.
If you're all right.
Yeah.
Thought that was you.
It was. I was asleep.
You were shooting something that day, right?
Yeah, I was shooting Insecure, and then I raced over here, and then I had a set at like 12:30, and so I just took a cat nap.
Did you go out?
Yeah, I went out.
Well, I didn't. You know, it's funny because I don't. Did you know anybody here?
At the time?
Yeah.
No.
Well, do you understand? It's rather unusual to trust people when you're a pretty woman laying down sleeping. I just want to make sure you're all right. You know.
No, I
don't want you to wake up with
it.
some mug making out with you.
Oh my God.
One of these goofball
comedians.
Paid or non-paid? Do you perform at the store also?
Yes.
It's funny, isn't it? The whole paid and non-paid.
It's a whole journey.
It's hilarious. It was never, when Mitzi was running it, it was never such a, I mean, I guess it was a big deal to some people, but it seemed like mostly everybody, once they passed, they got paid.
Well, I'm not passed at the store.
Oh, that's funny. There's a lot of really good acts that aren't passed there.
I'm not passed at the store. I mean, LA is a different place. You know, I've only been here not even 2 years. You know, I started doing stand-up in New York. You can just get way more reps.
Where'd you go?
Everywhere in New York.
Yeah.
I mean, everywhere except the Cellar, because at the time it just wasn't good enough. And then I came out here, and it's very cliquey. It's very cliquey in LA when you first get here.
Is it? I don't know that well because I was already established in New York when I came here.
I mean, it's cliquey in the sense that, like, there's the comics who go up, and there's the comics who are trying to go up. And so you're just trying to kind of get in the mix of that.
Have you seen I'm Dying Up Here?
Yeah.
What do you think of that? What do you think of that? How close is that to reality?
I mean, I feel like it's... Wait, I'm Dying Up Here is which one? Showtime or HBO?
Showtime.
I mean, but it's so different because it's the 70s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I feel like there was a whole different grind there. I think there was probably way more of a camaraderie.
Oh, I don't know about that.
No? You tell me.
I wasn't there, but I mean, I was there from the 80s on. You were born in 81?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I was already a man. I was already manly. I could have held you.
Manly.
I could have swaddled you. And... Yes, little Amanda, you little ball of talent. Yes, you are. Now sing for daddy. Good girl. That's not the right key, honey.
No. I mean, I definitely feel like comedy always has a certain level of camaraderie just because, like, what we do is something that not everybody can do. Like, so it's funny when you say you're a comic and people are always like, oh my God, it's the hardest thing I could ever do.
Well, it's hard for you because you don't do it. Yeah.
Exactly. And I was like, it's hard for us not to do it. Like, I've been really busy lately and I haven't been getting up as much because I've been doing other shit and I'm feeling it. You know?
Feeling it on stage, you mean?
I'm just feeling not being on stage. I'm like, come on. I need to get back on stage and say things to people about things.
One time I had a recurring role on Suzanne Summers' show that was after the hit show she had.
Mm-hmm.
It was a terrible show, but really nice people called She's the Sheriff. And it was before, well, no, you were a kid. You were a little kid.
Okay.
And they were all going out there, every night they would go out and get a drink, something to eat. And she said, "Why don't you come with us?" You never come. I said, "Because I got to go to work." She goes, "But you already got a job." I
No.
said, "No, this is my side job. Stand-up's my real job. The one I don't get paid for, that's my real job."
Exactly.
So you
I
got
try to explain that to people.
Yeah.
They don't get it. I had someone who was literally like, "So you're like choosing to be a comedian instead of an actor?" And I was like, "Well, I mean, it's both." And they were like, "So you're like happy?" I'm like, "Yeah, that's where I belong." Like for a long time, I thought I was just this like person just angry at the world and I didn't like people. And then I landed in stand up and I was like, "Oh, no, you are just a comic." That's what it is.
Well, you're at a good time now because times are different, especially for women.
Yes.
Like being a pretty woman now is an advantage. Before it was a disadvantage.
Absolutely.
Like people wanted to relate to the big fat kind of dykey woman or whatever. They wanted to relate to somebody who they thought they were better than.
Yeah.
But for some reason, it's changed, and now you have the.
I have the upper hand in that vantage point. I mean, I guess it's still not. I don't know actually if it's an upper hand, but I feel like it's not as much of a detraction.
There's many more opportunities for women now. I mean, I'm telling you as if I'm a woman, but I mean, from what I see, from what I see around me, first of all, there's so many more good-looking women that are in stand-up now than there ever was. Before it was like Sarah Silverman and Marsha Warfield. I'm sorry, Marsha. It was just a joke.
I mean, I think that, but our world has broadened and has opened up a little more too.
Yeah.
Like I was talking about how like in the 80s, especially with Black women comics, there was a whole thing happening in hip hop that I feel like spilled over into comedy. That's why you see Def Comedy Jam. But there was this it just got hyper masculine, like on another level.
Yeah. And
if you were a woman trying to make it in that space, you needed to be hyper masculine too. Like femininity just wasn't the move. It just didn't have a position. And now.
But you do a lot of characters too, right?
I do characters, but not so much on stage.
I thought that your voice changed, and I saw you a couple of times.
I mean, I like, if I'll impersonate maybe a style of a type of person, but not necessarily characters. I mean, I have my white girls. The white girls always come out.
Well, I was watching, I was thinking, because you're very good, and I was thinking, how do I know? Thanks. How do I not know her? So that's the reason you came from New York in the last couple of years?
Yeah. And I'm new. I'm a baby in stand-up. I only started doing stand-up October 2013. So.
But you were acting already.
I was acting and I was hosting and.
Yeah, I mean, that gives you an advantage, you know?
Like I wasn't new to the stage and I wasn't new to my voice. So, I started doing stand-up after I was already in my 30s. So I knew who I was. I knew what shit I wasn't going to take.
Did you, when I started, I didn't know what to be. I didn't know whether to be the wise guy, Italian guy. I didn't know whether to be fast or slow or a little bit doofusy or tough. Or, did you have a problem evolving into it?
I'm still evolving, because as someone who's like a comedy fanatic, you're also just like trying not to impersonate what you see.
Yeah.
And
that's why I don't watch people much.
Yeah, because it is definitely like how do I exercise a cognitive dissonance, you know? But then I love comedy, so I want to watch for that purpose, And then there's certain comics that, like I love watching Mulaney. Like I can watch John Mulaney
he's funny.
Forever. But so I can watch him as a fan. But then there's other comics that I'm like, if I'm watching Chris or Dave, I'm no longer watching as a fan anymore. I'm watching like as another Black comic who talks about social commentary, and I'm listening to them in a different mindset. And I oftentimes have to just like be like, no, just be a fan, just be a fan, just be a fan. Yeah. But I feel like my journey has been that, and also just like people still try and put you in a box as a woman though. Like they still want you to like just talk about relationships, or if you're gonna talk about sex, like don't talk about it too much because then you don't want to just get
don't get too graphic.
Yeah. And you don't want to be. And then, like, I talked about sex one time at a set, and a friend of mine who's a comic, he was like, when you talk about sex, it makes you sound dumb. And I was like, I couldn't sound dumb if I tried. It's just not in my shtick, But I find these days that my shit has definitely become a lot more. It's like TED Talks.
Like what?
Like TED Talks. Like my bits. I've never been a set-up punch kind of comic.
Well, yeah, it's a different kind of comic.
And that's just not my way.
I have no idea how to write a joke, honestly. After all these years, I just try and
stumble
say
upon
things
the
that are
funny.
funny, or act funny, or something.
I tell a story. My life just happens in funny ways.
Yeah.
So I'm fortunate in that way. And then, our world is so fucked up right now that it's like you have to find the funny, or else you'll go batshit crazy.
Somebody was saying that to me today about, like certain things that would have been positive or negative, like he's Donald Trump's favorite comedian. It's like that's like an anti-credit now.
Exactly.
Does anybody ever say about Trump, boy, that was really smart of him to do that? I've never heard. I guess, the only thing I've heard from certain, like, and it's always like kind of impoverished white people, well, he says it like it is. He says and I'm thinking, I don't know what he says, but I know the guy. I mean, he's really quite a piece of work. I mean, he really is. I mean, it's just a lot of energy. I mean, just, I don't know. I used to always think, and I'm not calling him Hitler and all that bullshit. You got to really kill a lot for Hitler and Stalin. But
I don't call him Hitler, but no. He has tendencies that make us, that we should be wary.
That we would even be talking about it. Is obvious to us that, like, what we fear, I believe, is his unpredictability and his temper and he doesn't make you feel secure.
No. He doesn't make you feel secure. And let's be real, like, you have to do a lot of ignoring of things to think that this is someone who's a competent person. Well, like, he stood up in front of people and said, beat up anybody who's against what I'm saying. If that's not fascism, I don't know.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
What it is. And then people proceeded to.
Yeah.
Like, we saw that, and he wasn't even elected president yet.
I think it's funny how relative it is, too, because, like, when Obama was in power, there was a certain kind of peace that, and George Bush was the bad guy. Now, Trump is so extreme, people are going, Bush wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that, he was
when they think,
yeah,
at least he was a real politician.
He was a putz, but, it's like, you didn't feel like, even if he was doing really shitty things, it wasn't so blatant, and it didn't, at the very least, feel like, man, you're really setting us up to have, even once he's out of office, the amount of work that will have to be undone.
Yeah.
And my other thing about him is, like, it's not just him. I mean, he's got a whole line of folks behind him that are just as crappy.
Well, this is one time where our system with the legislative, judicial, really, and the executive really comes in handy, because at least we know, or we hope, that there's buffers to stop him. As has been voted down. Anyway, I don't want to make it a whole Donald
Political.
Trump thing. But you know what I noticed, though, just one last thing, is people don't want to talk about it. Like, on stage, they're tired of it.
It's... I mean, it's so funny, because it's like, when it first happened, I would get up every night, and in my head, I'd be like, you're not going to talk about this. And the minute I would get on the stage, it would be like, I'm compelled. Like, I just have to. At this point, I talk about it, but I don't make it my whole set, because I almost feel like you're stealing my joy by having me do an entire show about...
Yeah, I couldn't help do something about the pussy snatch, because first of all, I never heard that. I've been in locker rooms. I've been alone and with teams, and I never heard that. I can't. The visualization is fucking hilarious. The idea of snatching and putting it behind your back and juggling it in your hands, but it was, anyway. Certain things I couldn't resist, but I basically try and stay away from it, even though we've talked about it for 15 minutes now.
Yes, we have.
We can. We you talk about whatever you want. I just want to know some things about you. What's the name of your high school?
Dr. Phillips High School.
Yeah, who's Dr. Phillips?
Dr. Phillips was an orange grover in Orlando, and he had orange groves. And
You're from Orlando?
I'm from Orlando. Dr. Phillips is the greatest high school of all time. We have a number of alumnus Wayne
Apparently,
Brady.
she doesn't know about West Catholic High. Wayne Brady.
Wayne Brady, Joey Fatone. You know that song Despacito that everybody's been listening to? I don't know if you know this. It's the most viewed video.
Yeah.
Luis Fonsi, Dr. Phillips High School.
Fucking Dr. Phillips.
Orlando,
What about John
Florida.
Bartram, huh? That's where I went to school. The botanist.
Botanist.
Botanist,
We have
motherfucker.
Tony Award nominees. Eddie Wong, you know, his show Fresh Off the Boat. He's from Orlando.
How far from Disneyland? Disney World?
20 minutes.
Oh, man, you got it all.
We're across the street from Universal. You can see Hogwarts from our English class. Yeah.
I concede. I thought I was happy. You're happier.
I am a happy bride.
Did you graduate from college?
Yes, I went to undergrad at SUNY Purchase, and I went to graduate school at Columbia.
Oh, that's right. You majored in African American arts?
Well,
Or
in the
African
blackness,
American.
African American studies. I got a
That's
master's
great
in
that
blackness.
you embrace your culture so much, you know.
Well, it's funny because, you know, you're growing up. I grew up in Orlando and LA, but I did like my, you know, formative years in Orlando. And no one's teaching you about black culture in school. That's the thing. A lot of white people think that, like, you know, black kids have a leg up in terms of like black history, etc. Like, our parents may teach us, but we're not we're learning the same shit that white kids are learning in school.
Yeah.
We're not learning about anything more except for like what our parents teach us. And then I went to school, I went to college, and you know, you take like African American literature and you're just like, what? And my mind was blown, and I created my own major.
Also, I think a good thing is the word pride is involved with you know, the studies of African American pride. Like being Italian, we didn't have that. We had assimilation. Ours was more like our parents totally didn't want us to learn Italian because they didn't want us to seem like greaseballs, right? So it's a whole different thing, you know. But at least you're dealing with something from a positive angle. I mean,
well, that's in spite of. We're dealing it from a positive angle in spite of.
Right.
Because it's not like we're being delivered. It's not like it's being delivered to us in a positive way. We're creating a positive angle in spite of an oppressive, you know, regime.
Yeah, it's interesting, you know, because I've seen so many changes being much older than you, and you know there really are changes. And I'm not saying it's a day in the walk on the beach or a day at the beach and for anybody, but I mean you look at ESPN now, and I looked so many shows, and there was like there's 3 black men who are athletes and this hot little blonde, right? It's just trying to get all the demographics in, just to have some sex on it. But that would have never happened 20 years ago. You might see Chris Jackson or so, like one of the guys. One of the guys might be black, but it wouldn't be 3 out of 4 or 4 out of 4. And nobody mentions it, which is even better because it shouldn't be. It's not. It shouldn't be relevant. But it is a change. And I'm not saying everybody has, you know, anybody has it easy or easier. But do you know what I mean? Like there's some effective changes which are positive, but yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Like in that situation, I feel like those are the guys who are like literally putting their bodies on the line to like create an industry that keeps ESPN afloat. So the least they could do is give them a job after. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so when I look at when I talk about like,
But they always did that.
no,
and
you
they
just
didn't.
said they didn't. Now they're doing it.
No, I'm saying they always did put their bodies on the line. But they didn't give them jobs.
Right, but then at the end of that,
Yeah.
it was just like, well, you're done now. Go home and figure
Well,
it
that
out.
was
Now you
for-
have concussions, and now you have, you know, arthritis forever. So at the very least, you know, it's like, hey, you guys know the game better than we do because you played the game. So like, let's get you in here. But I think that, you know, when it comes down to it, there's changes, and you have to acknowledge change for obvious reasons, but then also because change can also be encouragement to continue the fight for more change. Like I'm someone who is just very ardently about always looking at diversity and always challenging, you know, norms to be more inclusive. You know, for a long time, comedy is just white guys, just a bunch of white guys.
Yeah.
I just saw like a poster for the New York Comedy Festival, and it's just like literally like 12 white guys, 2 black girls, and a white chick, and it was just like that's it. And I'm like, 2 of the biggest superstars, like literally in comedy right now, are brothers. So,
Well, yeah.
you know, I just I mean, I'm really happy to see comedy becoming more
But maybe they're
diverse.
too big for that thing. Anyway.
No, I'm not saying them too. I'm just saying in general, like it was interesting.
We're talking about Chris Rock
and Chappelle.
David Chappelle.
David Chappelle. But I just think that it's great to see that comedy has also just opened up. And as a Black woman comic, we're finally getting to do more than just talk about our pussies.
I had a discussion with Dave up here, and he actually agreed with me. You know, and it was about the use of the N-word. I said, look, I don't want to hurt anybody, but nobody's going to tell me what to say and what not to say. And he said, I said, you would hate it. I said, you know, I've known you since you were a teenager. You go fucking crazy if somebody said, we can say it, but you can't say it. That's bullshit. And he goes, you're right. It is bullshit. I go, thanks. That was it.
Well, you shouldn't need anybody to tell you whether you should say it or not.
No,
Your ethics should tell you whether you should say it or
not. Yeah, but and my whole thing is predicated around a great joke. But like I have a joke about the word faggot now, and it has nothing to do, because the thing is, the truth is, when I was a kid, we didn't even have the word faggot. We had the word, but we didn't, and it wasn't the bundle of sticks thing, but it was like more of a jerky guy than a guy who was homosexual. We didn't use it in that reference. Where I came from, faggot would be like, we're having lunch, and it's 85, 90 degrees, and he's eating soup. And one of the other guys goes, what are you doing? He goes, I'm eating soup. What are you eating soup at 80 degrees? What are you, a faggot? You know what I mean? But like, it had nothing to do with gay.
But now it does.
Yeah, but I mean, but I'm saying in the joke, I try and make it with something that people understand, that it wasn't always that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like square. Well, like there's so many words that change. Like bad, what used to mean bad, like something not good.
The difference is why they change. You know what I'm saying? Like when people change a word into a weapon, that's when it's problematic.
Well, that word was never good.
What?
Nigger was never good. It was never
Ever.
Good. No, it was never a good word. I'm not saying.
But at one point in time, you know, it was a word used amongst certain people, and then it became weaponized. And at the end of the day, it's like, once you know that, you can't dispel that from your mind. So when white people choose to use the word and act like, oh, well, I didn't say that word in that way, so it doesn't matter to me, it's like, you shouldn't feel comfortable using that word. You just shouldn't. You should be respectful of its history.
But do you think it's okay that they use it in rap songs?
Yeah, because that's their experience. And at the end of the day, like, black people and that word, like, we shouldn't measure whether we use that word based on whether white people should use it. It's just, that's our experience. It's ours.
I just don't think you can edit people.
But you don't get to say that.
I don't.
About that word, no. Like, you're a white man. And what your opinion is...
So I'm not allowed to say it?
Your opinion... No, you're not. And your opinion about it is irrelevant.
Well, thank you.
It just is. The same way that my opinion about the word faggot is irrelevant to homosexual people. Like, I should have no right to say whether or not I should use that word or not. If that word is describing homosexual people and they don't want to be called that, hey, cool. It's done.
Well, you know, it's really difficult. In this
no, it's not. You know what difficult is? Quadratic equations. Those are difficult.
No,
you know what's difficult?
All right, let me explain it to you. You know Donnell Rawlings?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so I walk in here on Chocolate Sunday. Chocolate Sunday is the night when they have predominantly black comedians and predominantly black audience. Talking to the camera. I know you know.
Talking to this camera.
I know you know. And he says about in front of, had to be like 10, 15 people were kind of waiting to get seated. Mm-hmm. And he was drunk. And we always had a good relationship. He goes, Dom, my nigga, I love this motherfucker. And everybody turned around. I'm standing there, right? Mm-hmm. So, but what I'm saying is, nobody got hurt. So I'm not allowed to say back to him, no, you mine. You know what I mean?
No.
Well,
because he's not yours. You're his. And it's a basic concept. And at the end of the day, the reason why you have a problem with the word is because you have access and you're used to having access. And that's part of you being a man, and that's part of you being a white man, and that's part of you being talented, and that's part of you having been a star for a long time.
Don't try and charm me.
I'm not charming you. I'm telling you the facts. I only deal with facts. No one likes to be denied access, you know, especially people who have been given access for their lives. So that's just a fact. And when anyone tells you no, you're like, who the fuck are you to tell me no? I'm me.
Well, I disagree with you.
You just said that that's what it is.
What?
You don't want to be told no. Who the fuck is anybody to tell you not to say
right.
nothing? But the fact that you disagree with me is irrelevant. Don't say the word.
Well, it makes for a good podcast.
Don't say the word. It's not up to you to decide whether you should say the word or not. Your ethics should just basically be like, you don't want me to say the word, black folks? I won't say it. I'm proud to be your N-word. Because honestly, that's something you should be proud of. That's a word that's reserved.
I will not agree with that.
I don't care.
Yeah, I know. You hate me now?
I don't hate you.
I mean, I grew up in a black neighborhood in West Philadelphia. We were the minority. We were the ones that were much like if I wasn't funny and I wasn't good at basketball, I would have had a lot rougher childhood, you know. So, I mean, I grew up in the middle of people that were struggling. My mother was left without a husband, and we had it tough. So, you know, I don't know. I guess I just don't feel guilty about. If I have a good joke about any word, I mean, I don't like, you know, the word cancer to me is much scarier and harder and more horrible than any other word. But that's my experience in life.
Cancer wasn't created by human beings to enslave other human beings for an indeterminate amount of time, and they continue to enslave.
Well, I don't know enough about the history of that word. I know that in Spanish, it's very close to that word for color, I believe.
It's true, but the Spanish word isn't a word that was hurled at small children trying to integrate a school. The Spanish word wasn't hurled at people who were simply just trying to live
Now you're
their
going to
lives.
make me fucking cry.
Well, I'm just trying to make it real for you. No. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when you say, like, I don't care, it's like you have to care about the history and the etymology of things.
I don't mean I don't care. I take that back. I do care.
You know, I mean, there's a reason, like, it's not like black folks are just saying you shouldn't be able to say it because we want something for ourselves. Like, I mean, shit, if we want something for ourselves, we would prefer to have is legitimate, equitable access in this country, but we don't. And that's part of the reason why white people don't get to say the word.
Who has it the easiest?
Straight white men have it the easiest in this country.
Well, they're the ones that have been losing power the most because they had so much power. You know?
Well, losing power and other people getting a chance are two different perspectives. Yeah. They look at other people getting a chance as them losing power.
Right. You should teach it at college. Fuck this stand-up.
Eventually. I think that's in my life. That's out there in the future.
You're quite the pip there.
I'll take it. This hasn't really been a funny podcast, but we've been talking about some real things.
Well, that's right. You know, I mean, I love the fact that we can disagree, and hopefully, you respect where I'm coming from. It's not a place of anger or hate. It's just about freedom of speech, really.
There is a freedom of speech, but I think, you know, more importantly than freedom of speech, there's freedom of information. And when you have certain levels of information and education, then it can dictate the speech that you choose to use.
I can't make a better argument than the Donald Rawlings thing, because it was totally out of love, and I didn't say it back to him. But if I would have, I wouldn't be ashamed of it, because he's kidding with me, I'm kidding with him. We both like each other. We've both been through things together. So it's not like this strange drunken black guy.
Don't say the word. Let it go. You have so much other shit. Let the word go.
No, it's the only word that gets laughs now.
No, it's not.
I say it 100, 200 times a set.
Don't let me be there, because I'm going to come up after you and talk some real shit.
Oh, boy. That would be another funny stand-up.
No, because it's just like there's so many other things to say and do, and it's like it's literally just I want this one, I want this, and it's like, no, it's a cop-out is what it is. It's actually hacky, if we're being real.
I don't know about hacky.
It is, because it's a cop-out. It's low-hanging fruit to use that, because the humor comes in the fact that you're an older white man saying it.
Do you agree that it's hacky when, like, young black guys call each other that on stage, and they call them
where's the hack in that? Like, that's their experience. It's their organic experience. If anything, that's authentic.
You can rationalize everything.
No, I can only rationalize logic.
Rationalize logic. Can we have an epistemologist here?
No, I'm serious. Listen, anybody they know that I'm a really good arguer, because I will come to just the bottom line. If I'm wrong, I'll be wrong. I'm not wrong in this one, though.
Well, you are.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you would hate if I told you what not to say.
I'm a black woman in America. I'm told what not to say every goddamn day. Are you kidding me?
What?
oh my gosh, I can't say this. I got to say things in a certain
Name
way.
one thing.
Well, I'm not supposed to say things with a certain tone because then I have an attitude.
What is it?
Anything. I can't
Tell
say
me.
anything with a tone.
Teach me.
I can't, literally talking. I cannot say anything with a certain tone
Well,
because then I have an attitude.
do a tone. You're an actress. Let me see the tone.
This is what I'm supposed to talk like at all times. If
Well,
I
how do
speak
you really feel?
When I really feel like this.
Oh God, stop being so loud. We got a microphone.
So angry, you know. And like I told you, I mean, even in stand up, you know, like I was doing a joke about. I was telling a joke that had something to do with sex, and a black comic pulled me aside and was like, "Hey, you know, you really shouldn't talk about sex on stage as a black woman comic if you want."
Who was that?
I'm not going to blow his spot up, but he was like, you know, if you want to be taken seriously as a black woman,
older or younger.
We're not doing this.
We are doing it.
I'll tell you off camera. But he was like, if you want to be taken seriously as a black woman comic, you can't talk about sex.
George Wallace.
No. He's a younger guy, but he's legit in his, you know, I mean, and he was somebody.
Ronzio Vance.
No, I'm not doing this.
Chris Red.
I'm just gonna say no. Chris Red would never say anything like that.
What do you think's funnier, Chris or Ronzio?
I'm gonna vote for Chris because Chris is my friend.
I got her to say something.
No, I just I don't have a problem with anyone telling me not to say something when there's a legitimate argument behind it. I don't say the F word because there's a legitimate argument behind it. There's a legitimate reason why people don't want that said. It hurts them. I'm not going to argue with that. I don't need that word. I have so many others.
What would you say instead of that?
I mean, I'm not making jokes about gay people anyway, but at their expense. But
Oh,
I would
what?
just refer. I'm not making jokes at gay people's expense anyway. But I would just say gay or homosexual. It's like I don't need to say tranny. I can just say a trans person and still get the joke off. And we have these audiences, though, who, you know, they want that basic shit because it's funny to them to make people. It's funny to them because, like you said earlier, it makes them feel better about themselves to shit on other people.
Yeah.
And that's just not where my jokes lie.
Well, that's our show for today. We're going to do a comedy portion. We'll be back in 1 minute. What the fuck? Would you be funny? I'm trying to get this. Stop with the fucking political shit.
I'm sorry, man. I'm just a serious bitch. I'm very intense. Can't you tell? Look at my hair.
I know. Well, you're blonde.
Today.
Natural. You know, I keep dyeing my hair gray and it keeps coming in dark.
Oh yeah, it's a struggle.
I have a recurring part in that show. I'm dying up here, and I wear a wig. And this one guy, he's how fucking stupid people are. He said, "Oh, I don't use that word in front of you anymore." I forget it. I forget what I could say or I can't say.
You can say stupid. Some people are stupid.
No, I said fuck.
I curse like a sailor.
You're confusing me now.
I said one word. No, when I said F word, I meant the word referring to homosexuals.
Oh.
That's what I meant.
Oh, I think you meant fuck.
No, fuckity fuck, fuckity fuck. Yeah. It's a necessary word. Like, I don't know how Jerry doesn't
Jerry
curse.
Seinfeld?
Yeah.
Well, you know what he told me one time? He said, I really painted myself into a corner with this clean material. He really did. He said, I can't get out of it. I was down at the Comedy Magic Club one night with Gary Shandling, and then Jerry was on stage. Jerry was on stage, and he said something blue, whatever, and they went, ooh. And Gary says, why are they doing that? I said, because they expect him to be clean. I said, if you do it, they wouldn't even flinch because you're a pig. And then Gary, so neurotic, or was so neurotic, about a half hour later, he goes, you really think I'm a pig? I said, why are you worried about what I think? No, Seinfeld was amazing, how clean. But, you know, the thing is, we're all making fun of something, whether it's ourselves or something. I mean, there's some cruelty in comedy.
Absolutely.
And what Jerry does is points out how stupid people are.
All of us are.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, you know, I mean, you have to have something.
No, absolutely. That's what I was just saying, that, like, that's just not where my jokes lie.
Yeah.
You know, for some people, that's where their shit lies. I don't watch those people. But I think that for me, yeah, the cruelty that does come is absolutely in pointing out, like, pointing out stupidity is one of my favorite places to go. And pointing out my own stupidity and just really just kind of like encouraging all of us to just be a little bit wiser about shit, but going a funny route to get there.
Oh,
I have a whole bit about just like, you can't keep fucking idiots. you know.
Can't keep fucking idiots?
Yeah, you can't. You will become
then you'll have
an
other
idiot.
idiots.
Yes.
Well, you know what's amazing about the history of comedy? I was watching some of it on CNN.
How is it? I haven't watched it.
You know, it's very limited to who they choose to be the representatives of comedy. But, you know, which one thing that's good about it, they also show comedy film writers.
Okay, so it's not just
besides
stand-ups.
no, not even close. You know, they show Mel Brooks. But what's interesting to me is, and fascinating, is Bill Cosby, in the sense that Bill Cosby was truly a groundbreaker. You know, and
Are you gonna make me do this?
No, I'm telling you the truth. I mean,
Are you
whatever.
gonna make me praise Cosby on this fucking podcast?
I'm only praising a part of him. I mean, what he did, obviously, he did something. You know, I'm not, but I mean, follow me on this.
Okay.
He was a man, a black man in the '60s who had a show that had nothing to do with race. He was a detective, and his partner was a detective, and it never mentioned race. It never had. So I'm not saying that's good all the time, but in this one case, it was a breakthrough. You know.
Yeah.
And then he had a series of which a family who not were black, who happened to be black, but were many other things. His wife's a lawyer. He's a doctor. His wife, one's a doctor, one's a lawyer.
Wife a lawyer.
And he did all this groundbreaking, and even in his comedy, he was very clean, and his comedy was predicated on funny characters, Fat
And
Albert,
family.
those kind of, you know. So, you know, we shouldn't. I mean, I'm not look. I don't know what he did. I'm sure he did something. I mean, I can't imagine that many women turning him in for nothing, you know. But
you know, it only takes one.
Oh, I know.
To make him a terrible man, right?
Absolutely.
You know that, right?
Yes, of course. I'm not kidding. I'm not letting him off the hook on anything.
Okay.
Not
Just so we're clear
one
on
single thing. No.
As a comic, as a creator, gifted. As a man, shitty. And let's be real. Like, outside of this whole rape issue, he was being pretty shitty for a while.
Oh, yeah. No,
you know what I'm saying? So, but we also have to acknowledge that, like, there's hella shitty artists. Like, a lot of, like, Miles Davis was the worst.
I don't know anything about that.
He made some great music.
Why?
He was a woman beater like a motherfucker.
Really?
Yeah, he was slapping everybody around. You know? But
Right, what do you think about the Elliot case on the Cowboys? You know about that?
No.
I don't want to put you on the spot. He's a running back for the Cowboys who was accused of. This woman said they have her quoted as saying, "I'll bring you down." She goes, "I'm a white woman. You're a black man. They'll never believe you." And now he's, you know, but he has done other things. He lifted a girl's top at a party. You know, crazy shit. The college, but you know, he's like a world. You know, AAA rated athlete. So and he's a big celebrity. And maybe you don't follow the football.
What's his name?
Elliot, Ezekiel Elliot.
I don't know why I don't know about this story.
He was he was a rookie last year. You know, just an incredible player. But that's why he's getting so much press. But he got suspended for 6 games. You know, and
she's charging him with rape.
Well, whatever she's charging him with. Sexual assault, I think, not rape, sexual assault. Because sexual assault's harder to prove than rape. Because rape, they can, you know, do a DNA. I mean, I'm not.
It has more. It's more gray.
I mean, you can pull somebody's
There's a
hair,
spectrum.
and you can do things and have no, you know, no black and blue marks, and not that I've done anything like that. Mm-hmm. Never hit a woman. That was
good for you.
That was bigger than me. Yeah, no, it's funny when people say shit that they shouldn't do anyway.
I'm like, it's like giving a thank you card for child support. Like, you're supposed to do it.
Good analogy. You should stick with the intellectual stuff and stop doing this racial stuff.
Because racial stuff isn't intellectual. Okay. No, I haven't heard that story. I mean, I've been mostly just kind of hearing about Cap, you know, and everybody's speak. I mean, Kaepernick hasn't even said shit. He's like, I'm chilling.
Well, the funny thing is, other guys, by the way, have sat on the bench and not gotten up, and nobody even noticed it.
I guess because he was a quarterback and he didn't just sit on the bench; he kneeled, and you know, it was a definitive thing. He had an afro.
But the thing about it, they're very careful about their image. The NFL. I mean, if you look back, they did this to Tebow. They blackballed Tebow out of the league. Now, I'm not saying that Kaepernick was not a better quarterback than Tebow. He certainly is, but Tebow they didn't like that right-wing Christian stuff either.
Yeah.
You know, so he kind of got, he prayed his way out of the league.
He Hail Married his way out of the league.
He did. Anyway.
I mean, but football, all these leagues, I mean, at the end of the day, like, it's a bunch of rich white guys that own, I mean, out of the NFL, NBA, and NHL, there's only one majority player that's one black majority player. I mean, majority owner.
Who's that?
Jordan.
Oh. Well,
And
imagine.
there's an Indian guy. There's an Indian guy who's a majority owner for an NHL team, I think. And then there's a Latino guy that's a majority owner of a NBA team, I think.
Well, Magic had a piece of
a stake, yeah.
I don't know if he has a piece of the Lakers, but
like even like but I mean majority owner because like Jay-Z is a partial owner of the Nets, but he's not a majority owner.
Oh, yeah, I've seen him at half court.
He's there all the time.
Well, you go to those games?
No, because I live here. I don't go to Brooklyn.
Oh, I don't know.
I mean, I would go. I love basketball. I love football. I just don't really follow the ins and outs anymore. But if I'm at a game, I'm enjoying watching a nickel defense happen.
A nickel defense?
A nickel defense.
Oh, nickel defense. Trying to throw the old nickel defense at me, huh?
I mean, I try to be a well-rounded person. It helps, especially in comedy, to be able to just at least say something funny about everything.
Yeah.
Because listen, as you've noticed, I mean, I would sit on stage and just talk about race for an hour if you let me. But it's just not.
Well, the thing is, I'll never know what it's like to be you, obviously.
Right.
And like I have a friend, and we've been friends since the beginning of our comedy, and he's a black man from Mississippi. Oof. And I mean, honest to God, well, we did a podcast, and I was almost crying. I never get, but he was telling me, we've hung around since 1981, which how long we've been friends, and he never told me that he had this drink from separate water fountains when he was a kid. And I was like, oh my God, Mike, really? Like I didn't think that. I didn't think I'd know people. I thought that was part of a terrible history,
Well, that's what a lot of folks don't understand. Like, this is not that old.
That's why I drink bottled water. Out of respect.
For respect. Like, Boston didn't integrate its schools till like 75.
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
But they sure integrated their basketball team.
Didn't they?
I don't think they'd have done as well without Bill Russell.
I mean, and then a lot of people, they think that like racism is done, or they just think that they see overt examples of diversity, and they think, well, things have gotten better, and it's like things get better in certain spaces, but like we still have a long way to go in terms of equality, and when you see just like the prison industrial complex is a real thing. I mean, they really when you see the amount of black people that are unarmed and are being killed by police, that's a real thing. I mean, these aren't things that we're not, like, Pryor was talking about that in the 70s. Yeah. So. Yeah,
and if you look at Pryor, what a Freudian slip. No, but if you look at Pryor's work, a lot of it is more intellectual characters than it is funny. I look back on some of his sets, and I'm thinking, boy, he's fucking smart, but I ain't laughing. And that's not taking anything away from him. He was a product of his times, just as Carlin was, you know. But it's a different kind of comedy. I think that now it's just different. I mean, today's comedians to me are the best I've ever seen.
Yeah, why do you say that?
Because they've evolved. They've evolved we learned from the comedians of the past. I mean, I would put like Bill Burr up against anybody. Chris Rock, Bill Burr, Rogan. Thank you. One of my workers.
Shut up, Tom.
Falling in love by the second.
Well, I'm just happy that you had me back. I last time I didn't get here on time, and Dom just was very busy. He was a very busy man, and he had to leave. So I'm glad that I got the opportunity.
Oh, you're being sarcastic.
I got the opportunity.
Are you saying something about Italians?
To come back and get on the mic and chop it up with you.
Well, me too. I'm glad
here at the factory.
You working this week?
No, I'm going to Grenada.
You have people, don't you? You have people. Like,
What do you mean?
but you don't just call you, because I know they told me they call your publicist or somebody.
My manager.
Yeah, you have people. I know.
You know how happy I am to finally fucking have people? Jesus.
Yeah.
Because I'm not a people person.
Really?
Nah. I mean, I don't want to talk to people all the damn time if I don't have to. And so, you know, it's hard. It's if you're not like a naturally like cheerful disposition person,
Yeah.
you know, I'm a happy person, but I'm not good at juggling bullshit. And that's like so much of this business. So it's nice to finally have people to do that for me, because I was just a one-man show for a really, really, really long time. This is a new thing.
What did you do in music? You sang?
I sang and I rapped. I was a rapper.
Wow.
I sang, I rapped. Before that, though, I was a journalist. So I was on the radio at Sirius Satellite Radio, and then I was writing for hip-hop magazines like The Source and Double XL and Vibe. And I was very immersed in that world, and I had, you know, a different name, Amanda Diva. And then I turned 30, and it just was like, this is stupid.
Yeah, I like your real name better than Diva.
Thank you. I mean, it worked for the time. It's like it's like you said, like things just change. You know, at the time, it just kind of like, it made sense for where I was. And then it just became like, if you really want to have a voice that's taken seriously about serious things, like you need to like figure out something that makes sense. And I thought that I
you can't have a last name named Diva.
Correct. Like I thought that I was like trying to figure out like you need to rebrand yourself. Like you need to like figure out how to get back to the basics.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce Dommy Meatballs to you. Hey, forget about it, everybody.
But that's a thing. Like, you know, there's comics who have these names.
Yeah.
And like that's, to me, when I hear those names now, I'm just like, you're sticking with that, huh?
My favorite name is Cedric the Entertainer. I love the fact. I've always busted his chops about it, but I love it, you know.
He's stuck with it.
I was number 79 in the Comedy Central's top 100 comedians when they took this contest years ago, and they created this bullshit. And
who was number one?
Pryor,
of course.
Then Carlin, and then Cosby, and then I can't remember. I knew Seinfeld was in the top 10, but I don't remember the other people. Roseanne was pretty high.
All right.
I forget what I was saying now.
No, you were saying that you were 79 and Cedric.
Oh, I was 79. Cedric was 78. And when I did a thing, he was in the room, and I said, "Yeah, Cedric the Entertainer beat me out for the coveted 78 spot." I couldn't be with him. He's an entertainer. I'm just a comedian. He entertains. He has people over. He has a nice spread. He shows them the house.
He has a charcuterie.
That's right. What's a charcuterie?
Charcuterie is when they have like all the different meats and cheeses.
Oh, Karen, thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Your education is beyond African studies.
Who would have thunk it? I like watching your brain work.
What brain? Fucking dimble.
I like watching your brain work, Donnie Meatballs.
You know what? The best thing I have going for me is that I can't do anything else. You know what I mean? Like I could teach. I love teaching because I love kids, and I taught 4th grade, and I was good at that. I was good at self-esteem. You know, helping kids with their self-esteem, and I was proud of that. But other than that, I'm so inept at life.
Well, it's funny. I watched this. There was this show years ago where Wynton Marsalis was on. You know, the jazz musician.
Of course.
And he was talking about how when he was graduating from high school, and he was deciding on whether or not to go to college, he was like, well, maybe I'm just going to go to college, you know, just to have a fallback plan, and, you know, to please his mother. And he spoke to his father, who was also a jazz musician, and he was like, Dad, you know, this is what I'm thinking. I'm going to go to school and get my degree. I forgot, I think it was in accounting. And
Wynton Marsalis in accounting?
Right.
What a waste.
And he was like, I'm going to go and get this degree as a fallback plan, and then try my hand at jazz. And his father told him, if you have a fallback plan, you're always going to fall back.
Right.
So either do it or don't.
Yeah.
But that safety net is going to keep you from really actually making sure that you win.
Yeah. I remember working at the River Cafe. You know the River Cafe? Mm-mm. It's in Brooklyn. It's under the bridge.
Yes.
On the it's a barge. Beautiful 5-star restaurant. And the guys were all making like $500-$600 a week. This is in 1979.
Oh, wow.
You know, they're making in cash. This is before we had to claim everything. So what's their incentive to me? I was parking cars. I made some money, But my incentive was to get out of parking cars, and I couldn't do anything else. I wasn't even good at that. I'd be scraping them alongside the
Right.
wall and shit.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry.
It was funny about that. They would all tell me to, especially the Goombas. Hey, kid, put it up front, huh? Give me. And I go, yeah, I got you. How many fucking cars could go up front?
Exactly.
It's only like 3 or 4 cars. Thought I told you to put it up front. I did. I just moved it. Oh, thanks.
I was in Miami a couple months ago for the American Black Film Festival, and this guy hit me on Instagram, and he was like, "Yeah, next time you're in Miami, I got you for a car." And I'm just like, "Yeah, sure you do." And then he saw that I was in Miami, and he texted me and on Instagram and was like, "Hey, do you want a car?" And I'm just like, he can't be serious.
What do you mean, like a car to drive?
And he's like, "Yeah, do you want a car to drive?"
Is it off?
Mm-hmm. And I was like, now I'm curious.
Turkey.
So I call him, and he's like, "Yeah, I rent exotic cars, but I'm a fan of yours from the show Insecure on HBO every Sunday, 10:30." And he was like, would you want a car for the weekend? I was like, well, what kind of cars? And I swear I'm waiting for him to be like, Hondas and shit. And he's like, well, I got a Maserati, but I think you'd look really good in a drop-top Bentley. And he literally came and dropped me off a drop-top Bentley. And the reason I remember that story is because everywhere I went, I was like, keep it in the front.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'd heard that all the time. And this is the first time that I'm like, keep it in the front. I'm never asking them to park my Hyundai, my 2015 Hyundai Sonata Sport in the front. But this time I was like,
so he came through and he didn't hit on you or anything?
Nothing. He was like, me and my girlfriend are huge fans.
Oh, that's cool.
And he just took a picture of my ID and gave me a picture of his. And he was like, if you get white girl wasted, just park it and I'll come and get it. And I was like, how is this possible? He's like, because it's Miami. Anything goes. And I only thought of that for Vegas. I didn't know Miami was that level.
You only
of
thought of it
anything
for
goes.
what?
For Vegas. Vegas isn't anything goes.
Yeah,
Miami's
pretty wild.
But he was like, yeah, it's like that out here too. So I got to live like a pimp for 2 days.
They're beautiful cars.
Oh my God.
I used to pick up who became my wife at the subway stop in like a Bentley, one of those. We even had the English cars, the English Bentleys with the steering wheel on the other side.
What?
Yeah.
I drive on the other side when I'm in Grenada, and I always have to
Oh, you got to be careful.
Switch my brain back when I come back here.
I know. I was in New Zealand, and my girlfriend was driving, and she made a right onto the right, which is against traffic, and this truck's coming at us. I go, so I'm taking a picture. I go, so, wah! And they're beeping at us. We almost got killed.
Literally, the only thing you have to keep saying in your head is stay left, stay left, stay
Yeah.
left, stay left. That's all you have to know to drive on the other side of the road. Stay left.
I have trouble on those roundabouts.
Yes. I have trouble on the roundabouts. And then in Grenada, we have shitty roads. And then we have these drops where you will die.
Grenada is right off of South America, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's right next to Venezuela.
Didn't we go to war with them or something with Reagan?
Yes, there was an invasion.
Beat those motherfuckers.
Well, they didn't go to war. Basically, Cuba had made ties with Grenada, and so they built our airport, and America was like, oh, we can't have that. And so they came and got the communists out of Grenada.
Oh, is that what happened?
Mm-hmm. No one was fighting Grenadians. We're like, really? This is stupid.
What's your history? Where's your background?
My people are from Grenada.
Oh,
I
really?
was born here. Mm-hmm.
So were you a citizen? Could you get a Grenada passport?
I have a Grenada passport.
God, that's a rare one. I've never seen that. You have it on you?
No.
Can I see it sometime?
Sure. No, and when this Trump thing happened, you're just like, damn, I guess I'm glad I have this. I don't know. Shit could go left.
I hope we're not overreacting.
I think we're underreacting.
Well, I never really get afraid when a politician's on until now. I don't, to me, the thing is, just to become a politician, you've got to be a politician. So I already,
right.
You don't have my utmost respect anyway, but you certainly have more respect than other politicians. And boy, he scares me.
Well, after this weekend and what went on in Charlottesville.
Well, why is it so hard for him to say, to denounce?
Because that's his fan base. That's his voter base.
Wow.
They literally said, David Duke, a former Grand Wizard of the KKK, said, we are inspired to do this because of Donald Trump.
Wow. David Duke's not a bad looking guy.
No comment. He's fueled. Literally, he only looks handsome because he's fueled by the light of the devil.
Kidding.
I can't kid about him.
You got to lighten up, kid.
Uh,
What can I do to help you?
Nothing.
This was good. I'm on the other side of it, you know.
But that's the problem. You're not.
No, I'm on the other side of not. I'm talking about life.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I feel like I'm more calm now than I used to be. I used to just be mad, just mad.
Yeah, but
and then it's tiring.
It eats you up, you know.
It does, and then you have to just like
pick your spots and pick your philosophies, and I respect that, but don't let it destroy you.
But then you also find your purpose, and then you can filter it through that. I feel like when you're younger and you're just floating around the world, you just have a lot of mismanaged energy. Like, where are you putting all this? Yeah. Now that I know what I'm here for and I know what I'm doing, I put it into that. I'm on my Instagram and I have like a large following on my Instagram, and people are very empowered and enlightened by shit I say on there, and it feels good that I can help people. So
I just hope, I don't know, I just hope you get to use that anger energy as creative energy, because it's
I do every day. I do a show called Smart, Funny, and Black every first Tuesday of the month at Nerd Melt, and it's a game show about Black pop culture, Black history, and the Black experience. We sell out every month. We have like amazing guests. We have 2 competitors that come on the show every month, and it is exactly that. I created it so we can celebrate like Black experience in America and all that it's contributed to culture. And I mean, we have a very diverse audience because everybody loves Black culture. And it's stuff like that that's very like a real way that I'm utilizing my rage for good.
And a kid said to me one time, it's funny how, because of what they're conditioned to believe and what they're conditioned to know, he said, this little girl, her name is Karen Jackson. She said to me, "Mr. Irrera, you so nice. You're not white. You Italian." Isn't that funny? Like, cause she
differentiated.
She loved me. I knew she loved me. I loved her, but I knew that cause to her white people were bad, and that was her experience. But she didn't want to. She wanted to have an excuse for loving me, and so she made me Italian.
But that's a real thing, though. That's a real thing. Like, when you as a white person realize, not you, I'm just saying when white people realize, oh, like if I feed into whiteness as a superiority, then I'm a part of the problem. Then you have to separate from that. And you just happen to be white, but really your ethnicity is where your identity lies. Yeah, but you have to denounce whiteness to be able to challenge it.
Well, I guess because of slavery, a lot of Black people don't know where they're from.
No, we don't.
Like Italians know, I mean, I know that I probably have Spanish in me with that name, Irrera. I probably, the Moors were banging somebody's grandmother. It was, in Sicily. I'm from part of Sicily, part of Italy, so I got a general idea, but, I don't know exactly what part of Africa. I think Eastern Africa, they pulled a lot of people and obviously enslaved them, but I don't they don't know enough about their background, so they're searching for a culture. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's got to be weird.
I mean, me being West Indian and knowing very clearly that like I have heritage there is a unique experience. My father is from America, but I don't really fuck with my dad. So, but I mean, Black people in America, it's surreal to be like living and trying to build a place.
What's the difference between surreal and unreal?
Surreal is, unreal means that it's not real.
Could it be I'm falling in love with you, baby? She's smart. She's got it all.
Surreal is when something feels unreal, right?
I don't know. So I asked you. I just know that people, use. I don't know what the difference is. Surreal, I always think of like surrealistic paintings like Salvador Dali. And
right, it's like it's fantastical.
The clock melting and that kind of stuff.
Surreal is when real is skewed. Yeah. Surreal is when real is skewed. Unreal is it's not actual.
Okay.
This is unreal. This can't be happening.
What the fuck kind of podcast is this? We went...
We just referenced Dali. How did that happen?
I don't know. Holy...
Yeah. I forgot what I was saying.
So let me plug some of your stuff while we're on the...
checking me out on HBO Insecure. I play Tiffany. I don't look anything like this on the show. I have very long hair, straight hair. I'm very uptight. You think I'm uptight here? Huh. Watch me on that show.
I don't think you're uptight here.
Oh, okay, good. You can also check me out, like I said, every first Tuesdays of the month at Nerd Melt with Smart, Funny, and Black. You can look out for my web series Gem Droppin' every Monday on harpersbazaar.com. And you can follow me on Instagram where I say a lot of funny, insightful, witty shit. And just in general, look out for dates and shows and when I'm on this mic.
My favorite part was when you became the mom teacher in this relationship between you and I, this our relationship, that when you went, just don't say the word Dom. I felt like a little kid, like walks out admonished. All right, I won't say the word.
Why can't I say the word? Because I said so.
Okay, that's enough. Because I said so. That's got to be a punchline to some jokes, huh?
Because that's it. Because I said so. Cool. All right.
Well, I love those kind of things. I said, Louis Anderson used to do a thing about fighting with his siblings, and he like think, "Mom, he's looking at me again." Like that's kind of stupid stuff
Right.
kids would fight over. Because I said so. Yeah, because I said that before I knew that my marriage was spinning downhill, and we're still really tight friends. And she said, and she would really get fucking crazy on her period. And get mad if I said maybe it's your period. It's not my fucking period, you know. So all right, well, I don't know what you. Then I said, well, then I guess you're just a bitch.
No.
I said, why do you got to be such a bitch? She goes, because I am. She knew it.
She's not for everyone. That's my whole shit. I'm not for everyone. Take it or leave it.
Oh, you'd be tough in a relationship.
I'm great in a relationship.
You'd be great in a relationship.
No, I am. I'm great. Because I'm going to give you everything.
Oh, easy.
I'm just saying. Like, that's the kind of person I am. You're going to get everything. But that's what makes it tough. Because dudes who aren't willing to give everything, if they feel like they're receiving it, it's too much. When they know they can't give you the same that you're giving them. So then they sabotage.
Yeah. I've done that. I've been there.
And maybe that's why I'm still single.
Is it hard to meet people?
It's not hard to meet people. It's hard to keep people.
Yeah.
Especially in LA. Because these guys are fucking
But at least
ridiculous.
you're young and good looking. Imagine being me. I don't have a chance because I'm programmed to like the same looking women that I liked 20 years ago. But guess what? I don't look like that anymore. I don't look like I looked then.
My style has changed. I feel like I'm definitely, my taste is broadening.
Yeah, but you're on your plateau now. You can look like this another 15 years. You know
I'm
what I mean?
trying to stretch this for at least another 7.
But I mean, no matter what I do, there's never going to be somebody's going to go, boy, Dom Irrera looks great.
You don't
Boy,
think so? What
oh
if you
my
really
God.
started working out and eating food and eating better
Well,
food?
not that. Is that going to open my eyes? My eyes are fucking closing. If I ate well, I would probably lose my gut. Yeah, that would help. But I'm not going to get any taller. I'm going to get shorter.
No.
I'm like a monkey. I'm just like
No.
a joke monkey. You've made me see that. Thank you.
No, that wasn't my intention.
No, you didn't make me feel that.
I have been told though that I am a mirror.
Oh.
Guys, that's the thing
Yes,
that guys tell me.
I look in the mirror and I see myself of the past when I had blonde hair.
Just dashing, just in and out of venues, knocking them dead.
That's a good voice you got there, kid.
Appreciate it.
I'd like to hear you sing. What do you have albums still for sale?
Mm-hmm.
I gotta check it out.
Yep.
I gotta get some grown up on my computer to help me.
I try and sing ever so often in my set. Lil Rel is always telling me to sing in my sets. He's like, you're not using all your tools. But sometimes it feels like hacky. So.
Yeah, but see, I think if you got it, flaunt it. You know, it's like.
Well, it's how you flaunt it, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like sometimes I see guys get up there and, they'll do like a whole bit where they're just like singing songs everybody knows, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Well, there's a comedian here who sings all the time.
A white guy.
Yeah,
He sings like R&B.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's not a bad singer. But
No, and he can actually sing like really well. And I mean, it is impressive that he is able to sing like that, looking like that. Like he looks like a regular white guy,
Yeah.
but then he sings like a black man from Philly.
Mhm.
So I get it. But I mean, I wrote a musical, and someday I'll do it again.
Did you ever do any musicals, like straight musicals?
In high school, I mean, that was my whole jam.
What'd you do?
We did Secret Garden. We did Pearly. We did Chicago. Into the Woods. All
Into the
jams.
Woods was the.
Sondheim.
Oh, okay.
It's like all the fairy tales. Into the woods, it's time to go away. To leave, I have to go.
I did Fiddler.
You did
in
Fiddler?
college. Yeah, I was a rabbi. Nice.
If I were a rich man.
Yaddle deedle 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 dum. All day long I'd biddy biddy bee. Yaddle deedle. I'd build a big bum 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 da da da.
Tradition! Tradition!
Who day and night must scramble for a living, feed the wife and children, say his daily prayers, and who has the right as master of the house to have the final word at home? The Papas! The Papas! Tradition!
Impressive!
Thank you.
You retained that.
I don't know. I know the whole thing.
You retained
I know the whole
that. That was
score.
from, when did you do that? In college?
Yeah. My favorite
Where'd
song.
you go to school?
Barry in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you know about
Oh,
Miami.
I know Miami.
Bienvenidos a Miami.
Yeah. I got a lot of Cuban friends from.
I'm going to Cuba.
Oh, cool.
In November. Check it out before it gets too American. Or before we can't go there anymore.
Before it becomes Vegas again.
Correct. Yeah. I have a lot of trips planned this year. I'm very excited.
That was the biggest mistake he made. What's that?
I have a lot of trips planned this year. I'm very excited.
That's cool.
London, Togo, Ghana, Paris.
Yeah, that's,
Cuba.
My thing is is really enjoy your life. Like when you know that money can get you a lot of fun and all that stuff, but I always judge a gig by the experience and the money, not just the money. I don't want to be alone somewhere. What's that?
I always say there's 3 sides to a gig: the money, the content, and the people. You need 2 out of those 3.
Yeah. Because
sometimes the people are going to be shitty, but you like what it's about, and you're going to get some money. And sometimes the money is shitty, but you like what you're talking about and the people that you get to hang out while you're doing it, so it's worth it. But
I love the fact that I would never have been in Adelaide if it wasn't for stand-up. I'm not going to go to Adelaide.
Right.
I'm not going to go a fucking 16-hour flight. If, I'm going to have somebody fly me, and I'm not going to go and coach, and I'm a spoiled brat and all that, but I love the fact of stand-up. That I go to Columbus, Ohio. I would never go to Columbus, Ohio. I would never say to, like some woman I'm hanging out with, honey, you want to go to Columbus?
You want to go to Columbus?
Next summer? It's nice and humid.
Actually, I do like Cleveland in the summer.
I like Cleveland, yeah. I like, 4th Street. 4th Street in Cleveland. That's the street with all the good restaurants.
Yes.
So if you go there, you think, fucking Cleveland, wow, what a hip town. Then you realize that's the only street.
That's the only street. Just don't make it right.
Tumbleweeds coming down the street.
It's true.
Well, thank you for being on the show, my friend.
Thanks for having me.
And it was delightful and very heavy at times, but you taught me about your strength and your intellect.
Ooh,
and
nice.
I believed you explained surreal and unreal to me.
I think we hit it. I think we nailed it.
I will never say the word in front of you again.
Deal.
Not the word. What was there was a lot of cool stuff that happened today. Anyway, I'm glad I got to know you a little.
Ditto.
I'm glad. Thanks for coming back after the first.
It was my fault. I'm glad you allowed me back. And thanks for checking on me that night when I was asleep upstairs. Downstairs.
Yeah. Well, that was really me. That wasn't an act,
No, I know.
I see a young girl sleeping on I hope she's all right,
And I appreciated
I
it.
didn't know you were an act.
I know.
I mean, I still would have checked up on you, but I thought you were a regular human being.
Right. No, I wasn't. I was a weirdo comic. But I appreciate it, and it means a lot to me that you think I'm a good weirdo comic.
Very good. Yeah.
So thanks.
You're going to do well. You'll do well. Now you're already doing well. What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm doing okay.
You already made it. It's just now it's all relative.
I'm making it. Until I buy my mom a house, I haven't made it.
Oh, stop with the mom. Let her go. start a whole new thing about parents right before we close the show. I will be
Next time.
I'll be at the Landis Theater in Vineland, New Jersey in September.
Ooh, all right, New Jersey.
Boston, this won't be out by. I'll be at the Hamptons, East Hampton, next week, and many others. Do you ever do New York clubs? The outside of New York, like the Governors or any of those?
I didn't.
Oh,
I left before I was like,
before you can make it to
Yeah.
yeah.
but it's time to come back. It's never too late.
Well, you know, keep getting these credits, and you'll do anywhere you want to go.
Appreciate it.
Amanda Seals, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Tom Irrera, reporting live. It's surreal. Thank you.
Thanks.
She had only been